Skinny and what about it? What was said? Skinny. But I'm pressure, ho, get into it.
On a warm night in Forest Park, Georgia, something strange and terrible happened. A 22-year-old woman named Amiya Cunningham was dancing in the street. She was full of life. She smiled, she moved, and she laughed. People say she loved to dance. That night, many people were outside. Some had their phones out. They were recording. Then, something went wrong. A car came down the street. Fast. In just seconds, the car hit Amiya. But that was not all. Witnesses say the car ran her over, and then it dragged her body. The car didn't stop. The person driving the car didn't get out. They drove off and kept going. People screamed. Some ran toward Amiya. She was hurt very badly. An ambulance rushed her to the hospital, but it was too late. Amiya Cunningham died. She was only 22 years old. Some say the driver was her friend. Some say the driver didn't care. Others say the police did not do enough. So, what really happened that night? Why was Amiya dancing in the street? Who was driving the car? And why hasn't anyone been arrested? In this story, we will look at who Amiya was, what happened on the night of April 29th, 2025, what the police and the public say, what the video shows, and what questions are still not answered. This is a real story, and you might be shocked by what you learn. Stay with us as we unravel this shocking story and uncover the heartbreaking details of what led to this senseless loss. If you enjoy real crime stories that uncover the truth, don't forget to subscribe. Your support helps us share real cases, spread awareness, and give a voice to those who can't speak for themselves. Before we begin, let us know in the comments, where are you watching from? And what are your thoughts as the story unfolds? Welcome to True Crime Tales, where we reveal the crimes that shock communities and the secrets hidden behind closed doors. These are real people, real events, real consequences. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Now, let's begin. Amiya Cunningham was a young woman. She was 22 years old. She lived in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States of America. Her friends and family called her Mia. That was her nickname. She liked to smile. She liked to laugh. She liked to dance. She was full of life. Mia was known by many people in her neighborhood. She had a strong voice. She liked to play music and move to the beat. Dancing made her happy. She danced with her friends. She danced at parties. Sometimes, she even danced outside on the street. People say she didn't care who was watching. She just wanted to be herself. Mia loved animals too. She liked cats and dogs. She would talk to animals like they were her friends. She took care of them. If she saw a dog alone, she would try to help. That's the kind of person she was. Mia also loved spending time with her friends. She did not like to be alone. She liked to go out. She liked to take pictures. She liked to post on social media. Many people followed her online. They watched her videos. They said she was fun. They said she was real. Mia had dreams. She wanted to work with children or maybe start her own business. She talked about learning new things. She wanted to grow. She had plans for her future, but those plans were cut short. She lived in a small apartment in Atlanta. It was not a big place, but it was hers. She shared it sometimes with friends. She had clothes, shoes, makeup, and music. She liked to dress up. She liked to look good. She cared about how she showed herself to the world. Mia did not have a fancy job, but she worked hard. She took small jobs here and there. Sometimes she helped at hair salons. Sometimes she helped clean homes. Sometimes she made money by making videos online. She was trying to build something better for herself. People who knew her said she had a big heart. Some said she could be loud, but she was kind. Others said she always wanted to help people, even strangers. If someone was sad, Mia would try to make them smile. If someone needed food, she would share hers. Her friends said she could light up a room. When Mia was around, people noticed. She talked a lot, she moved a lot, and she had big dreams. She wanted to be somebody. She wanted to live a big life. But that life ended too soon. On the night of April 29th, 2025, it was dark outside. The time was almost midnight. The place was Forest Parkway and Frontage Road in Forest Park, Georgia. That place is a street where cars drive often. There are shops and signs around. Some people walk there. Some people hang out with friends. Some record videos. At that time, a young woman named Amiya Cunningham was outside. She was not inside a house. She was not on the sidewalk. She was in the middle of the road. She was dancing. Yes, Amiya was dancing in the street. Some people were with her. They were her friends. There were also some people nearby who were just watching. A few people were holding up their phones. They were recording what was happening. One of the videos would later go viral on the internet. It would be seen by many people. Amiya was smiling and moving. Her body was swaying left and right. Some people say she loved to dance, so this was not new for her. She danced in videos before. But this time, she was doing it in a place where cars drive. Then, something happened. A car came down the road. It was moving at a regular speed. It did not swerve. It did not stop. It kept going straight. Amiya was still dancing in the road when the car got close. In a few seconds, the car hit Amiya. She fell. The car did not stop. It kept going. The car's tires rolled over her body. People nearby screamed. The car then dragged her body a short distance. After that, the car drove away. The driver did not get out. The driver did not talk to anyone. The driver did not call for help. The driver left the scene. People ran to Amiya. She was not moving. She was badly hurt. Someone called 911. Police officers and emergency medical workers came to the area. They looked at Amiya and saw that she needed help fast. They took her to Grady Memorial Hospital in Atlanta. At the hospital, doctors tried to help her, but she did not survive. She died from her injuries. She was only 22 years old. After Amiya's death, many people were waiting for answers. They wanted to know what happened. They wanted to know who was responsible. The police started investigating. They looked at all the facts. They talked to people who were there that night. They also watched videos, including the video that was shared online. The video showed Amiya dancing in the street before the car hit her. The car didn't stop. It ran over her and dragged her body. People were shocked when they saw it. They couldn't believe that a car would just keep going after hitting someone. The police spoke to the driver. They said the driver told them it was an accident. The driver said they did not mean to hurt Amiya. The driver said they were just driving and didn't see her in time. But not everyone believed the story. The police said they did not find any proof that the driver meant to hurt Amiya. They said there was no foul play. Foul play means something was done on purpose, like hurting someone on purpose. The police said they believed it was just a tragic accident. Even though the police said it was an accident, many people didn't agree. They said the driver should have stopped and helped. They said the driver should have called for help right away. But the driver didn't do that. The car kept going. This made many people upset. They said the driver should be held responsible. They said the driver should face the consequences for what happened. The police continued their investigation, but there were still many questions that didn't have answers. Was the driver really Amiya's friend? Why didn't they stop? Why didn't they call the police? The investigation was still going on, and the public was still asking questions. The people who saw the video or heard about the accident didn't stop talking about it. They kept calling for justice. If you were a police officer, what would you do next in this case? Amiya's family was devastated by her death. They were still trying to understand how something so tragic could happen to someone so young and full of life. But they knew they had to keep going. They wanted justice for Amiya, and they wanted to honor her memory. The family held a memorial service for Amiya. They shared stories about her life. They talked about how much she loved dancing, how she cared for her pets, and how she made everyone around her smile. It was a sad day, but it was also a way for people to remember how special Amiya was. Many of Amiya's friends and family members showed up at the service. They brought flowers and cards. They talked to each other about the good times they had with Amiya. They didn't want to forget her. The GoFundMe page continued to raise money. Amiya's family used the donations to help pay for the funeral and other costs. They also used some of the money to look for legal advice. They wanted to make sure they did everything they could to find out what happened to Amiya. The family knew that even if they did not have all the answers right away, they had the support of people who cared. And that gave them some comfort in a very difficult time. Why do you think people share stories like this to help others? Videos of that night are still online. Some people still ask questions. They ask why she was in the street. They ask why the car did not stop. They ask why no one has been charged. So now, let us ask the same question. Why do you think Amiya was dancing in the street that night? Was it part of a challenge? Was she making a video? Was it safe to dance in a road where cars drive? Should her friends have told her to move? These are questions that many people still think about. What do you think? This was the night of the incident. This was what happened before the world knew Amiya's name. After Amiya Cunningham died, many people started asking questions. Some people who knew her were not happy. They believed something was wrong. They did not believe it was just an accident. A few of Amiya's friends told others that the driver was not a stranger. They said it was someone Amiya knew. They said the person driving the car was her friend. This made people more confused. They asked, why would a friend hit her with a car? Some people said it was not a mistake. They believed it was done on purpose. They said there was no way the driver could not see her. Amiya was in the road, and there were people around. She was dancing. Some people were even recording. People started saying that the driver should not have left the scene. They said the driver should have stopped. They said the driver should have helped. But the driver drove off. The car left. Amiya was still on the ground. People said that was not right. When the video of the crash came out, it was shared online. Many people watched it. They were shocked. They could not believe what they saw. Some people wrote comments like, why didn't the car stop? This is wrong. Who was driving? She was just dancing. A lot of people on social media were angry. Some people said the police were not doing enough. They asked, why has no one been arrested? They said, this does not make sense. Many people began to use the word justice. That means they want something to be done. They want someone to be held responsible. They want the truth to come out. They posted things like, justice for Amiya. We want answers. She didn't deserve this. Some made videos. Some made posters. Some talked about it with friends. Some made phone calls to ask for help. They wanted everyone to know what happened to Amiya. What would you do if this happened to someone you know? Would you stay quiet? Or would you ask for answers? Too? After Amiya died, her family was very sad. But they also had a big problem. They needed money to pay for her funeral. Funerals cost a lot of money. They also wanted to get legal help to look into what happened to her. So the family made a GoFundMe page. A GoFundMe is a website where people can ask for help. Anyone from anywhere in the world can give money on that page. The GoFundMe page was called Honoring Amiya's Vibrant Spirit. It was created by someone named Amiya Cunningham. She said Amiya was special. She said Amiya was kind and fun. She said Amiya loved to dance. She also said Amiya loved animals. The page asked people to give money. The money would help pay for her funeral, her burial, legal work to find out the full truth. On the page, there was a picture of Amiya. There were also kind words. Some people shared their stories about her. Some just said, rest in peace. Others said, we miss you. But most of all, they gave money to help the family. People from the public started to donate. Some gave $5. Some gave $50. A few gave even more. The page got shared many times. People said, please help if you can. Even people who did not know Amiya gave money. They said, we just want to help. The money was important, but the support also showed something else. It showed that people were paying attention. It showed that people cared about the case. Even if they did not have the full story, they wanted to help the family do something. Amiya's family used the money to prepare for her funeral. They also planned to use some of it to ask for legal advice. They wanted to know if there was something more they could do to get justice for Amiya. Why do families need help like this after such events? Is it fair for a family to pay a loan when something this serious happens? The death of Amiya Cunningham has left many questions unanswered. The night she was struck by a car, many people were watching. Some were even recording videos of her dancing. But what happened next is still unclear. One of the biggest questions is whether the driver was really a friend of Amiya's. Some people who were close to Amiya believe that the person driving the car was someone she knew, but this has not been confirmed. The police are still looking into it. If the driver was a friend, why did they not stop and help Amiya after crash? Was there a reason they drove off without saying anything? Or was it an accident? Another question that people keep asking is why the driver didn't stop. After the car hit Amiya, it didn't slow down. It ran over her and dragged her body. The car kept driving. It didn't stop to check if she was okay. Most people think that if the driver had stopped, Amiya could have received help faster, but the driver didn't stop. Why? At the moment, no one has been arrested. The police said they don't have enough evidence to arrest anyone. Some people think this is wrong, especially since the car didn't stop after the crash. The law usually says that if you hit someone with a car, you should stop to help, but the driver didn't do that. So many people are asking, why has no one been arrested? The police are still investigating. They are looking at what evidence they have. They have videos of the accident, but some people wonder if there is more video or proof that the police haven't found yet. Maybe there are more recordings from other people that will help solve the case. Maybe someone saw something that can help. The police have asked for the public's help. They are hoping that more people will come forward with information. But even with all these questions, the investigation is still open. The police have not closed the case yet. They are still looking for answers. This means they are still working to find out what really happened and whether anyone will be held responsible for Amiya's death. So what is the police waiting for? Right now, the police might be waiting for more evidence to come in. They could be checking more videos or talking to more people. They are trying to put all the pieces together to understand exactly what happened that night. To understand what has happened so far, let's quickly look back at the facts. On the night of April 29th, 2025, Amiya Cunningham was dancing in the street. She was hit by a car that ran over her and dragged her body. The car did not stop. Some people think the driver was someone Amiya knew, but this has not been confirmed. The police are still investigating. Right now, no one has been arrested. The police are looking for more evidence and asking the public for help. The case is still open and the investigation is ongoing. The police have said they will keep looking for answers. They have not given up on finding the person responsible. What can we expect next? We will have to wait and see what the police find. If they discover more evidence, they can make an arrest. If they don't find anything new, the case might remain unsolved for a while. But the police have promised to keep working on it. The law says that if someone causes harm to another person, they must be held responsible. This includes accidents like this one. If the driver did something wrong, they could be arrested. But the law also says that the police need enough evidence to make an arrest. This means they have to be very careful and make sure they have the right proof before making any decisions. Should this case be reopened or reinvestigated? That is something that people are still debating. Some people feel that the investigation is moving too slowly. They think there are answers out there and the police need to find them. Others believe the police are doing the best they can with the evidence they have. But everyone agrees that Amiya's death should not be forgotten. If you know anything about this case, it is important to share the story. By sharing, you can help bring attention to what happened to Amiya. You can also encourage others to ask questions and get involved. Sometimes, people have information that can help solve a case, but they're afraid to speak up. It's important to ask questions respectfully and to keep raising awareness. We must support the families of victims like Amiya. They need help, whether it is for funeral expenses or legal support. People can also donate to fundraisers like GoFundMe pages to show their support. How can we make sure stories like Amiya's are not forgotten? We can make sure these stories are heard by sharing them. By keeping the conversation going, we can help families get justice and make sure these stories are never forgotten. If you found this story as gripping and heartbreaking as we did, don't forget to like this video and share it with others. And if you want to hear more true crime stories that uncover the mysteries behind these tragic events, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss our latest stories, updates, and discussions. Thank you for joining us on this journey to seek justice and explore the truth. Together, we can make a difference. Until next time, Stay safe and stay aware.
Skinny and what about it? What was said? Skinny. But I'm pressure, ho, get into it.